You think your home is your sanctuary. You believe that the products lining your shelves, the ones with bright labels promising freshness, purity, and protection, are there to serve you. You trust that if a product is sold on a supermarket shelf, it has been rigorously tested for your long-term safety. But what if I told you that the very feeling of clean you have been conditioned to crave is actually a chemical mirage, masking a reality of accumulating toxins? For decades, marketing campaigns have relied on a simple strategy: associate synthetic chemical reactions with safety and care. For the general population, these exposures are problematic. But for those of us over 60, particularly those managing respiratory conditions, thinning skin, or a system that isn't as robust as it once was, these aren't just minor irritants. They are daily, low-level assaults on our biological defenses. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at filtering environmental toxins, making us uniquely vulnerable to the compounded effects of the products we use to maintain our homes. We are going to dismantle the facade. We will examine the 5 biggest fabrications the household chemical industry relies on to keep you buying. We will detail 5 common items that research suggests you should remove from your home immediately, and then we will identify the few simple alternatives that are actually safe. The first lie is perhaps the most seductive, the lie that clean has a smell. Think about the scent of a summer breeze or lavender field sprayed from an aerosol can or emanating from a plug-in device. It instantly gratifies the senses. It taps into a deep nostalgia for open spaces and fresh air, convincing you that by masking odors, you have eliminated their cause. It feels like a finishing touch, a seal of cleanliness upon a room. However, for older adults, especially those with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease or asthma, this scented mist is often a direct respiratory irritant. The mechanism of this deception lies in what is known industrially as the fragrance loophole. Current regulations allow manufacturers to use the single word fragrance on an ingredient list to hide hundreds of proprietary chemicals, including phthalates compounds linked to hormone disruption and volatile organic compounds, or VOCs. These VOCs turn into gas at room temperature, contributing to poor indoor air quality that health agencies warn can be significantly worse than the air outside. Do not be fooled by products labeled unscented, or even those boasting essential oils. Unscented often means masking chemicals have been added to neutralize other smells, and cheap, processed essential oils sprayed from pressurized cans still contribute to the overall chemical load in the air you breathe. The risk here isn't just an immediate cough. It is the invisible, cumulative stress placed on aging lungs day after day. The safer alternative is to actually remove the source of the odor rather than masking it, and to utilize activated charcoal bags, or simply open a window for true ventilation. But the danger isn't just in the air. It's on the surfaces you trust the most. This brings us to the second major lie, the promise of the 99.9% kill. There is a distinct sound to pulling a disinfectant wipe from its container, a moist snap that signals readiness for war against germs. We have been taught that a sterile home is a healthy home, and that wiping down our counters with powerful antimicrobial agents is a necessary act of protection for our families. For an aging immune system, however, this scorched earth approach to bacteria is counterproductive. We are now understanding that constant exposure to harsh antimicrobial chemicals like quaternary ammonium compounds, often called quats, can contribute to the development of resistant bacteria in your own home. Furthermore, the FDA has already banned certain antibacterial ingredients like triclosan from consumer hand soaps due to lack of effectiveness and potential health risks. Yet similar chemical cousins remain prevalent in surface cleaners. You might reach for a plant-based antibacterial cleaner, believing it to be the solution. Yet even these rely on potent concentrations of oils like thyme or oregano that can be skin and lung irritants when used daily in enclosed spaces. The invisible risk here is the disruption of your home's microbiome, the balance of good and bad bacteria potentially weakening your natural immunity over time. The science suggests that for daily cleaning, plain soap and warm water are sufficient to physically remove germs without leaving behind a chemical residue that contributes to resistance. If you are finding this information helpful in navigating the complex world of household products, please consider clicking the like button so we can reach more people concerned about their home environment. We move now from the kitchen to the laundry room, and the third great lie, that softness equals care. There is an undeniable tactile pleasure in pulling warm towels from the dryer that feel incredibly soft and smell fresh. Dryer sheets and liquid fabric softeners are marketed heavily using imagery of babies, teddy bears, and gentle hugs, reinforcing the idea that these products are designed for sensitive skin. The sudden reversal here is stark. For older adults with thinning epidermis or conditions like eczema, fabric softeners are often a primary source of contact dermatitis. These products do not make fabrics inherently softer. Rather, they coat the fibers in a thin layer of lubricating chemicals, often tallow-based or synthetic petrochemicals. You are essentially coating your clothing and sheets in a chemical film that sits against your skin 24 hours a day. These products are also significant sources of the aforementioned quats, which are known respiratory irritants. Furthermore, the sensitive skin versions of these products may remove some dyes, but they rarely remove the core softening chemicals that cause the issues. The invisible risk is twofold: constant dermal absorption of residues while you sleep, and the venting of these heated chemicals into your home's air during the drying cycle. The safer alternative for softening is using wool dryer balls to mechanically fluff fabric, or adding a half cup of white vinegar to the rinse cycle. As consumers become savvier to these chemical dangers, advertisers have pivoted to the fourth lie, the green label mirage. You see a bottle with a green leaf on it, perhaps the word natural or bioactive, and you experience a sense of relief. You believe you are making the responsible choice for the planet and your health. You pay a premium for this perceived safety, trusting that these words have solid legal standing. They do not. In the United States, terms like natural, eco-friendly, and even non-toxic on cleaning products are largely unregulated marketing terms. There is no pre-market safety approval required for most cleaning ingredients by federal agencies. A product can be labeled natural and still contain potent allergens or irritants derived from plants that are hazardous to aging skin and lungs in concentrated forms. The false healthy option here is the assumption that plant-derived automatically equals safe for humans. Poison ivy is natural, It is not something you want in your home. The delayed risk of greenwashed products is the false sense of security they provide, leading people to use them more liberally and without proper ventilation, increasing exposure to unregulated compounds. To ensure safety, you must look past the marketing language on the front and seek out specific third-party certifications, such as the EPA's Safer Choice label, which actually requires ingredient review. We arrive at the fifth and final lie, one that is almost entirely visual, the lie that whitest white means purest clean. We have been conditioned by decades of detergent commercials to believe that if our white laundry doesn't practically glow, it isn't truly clean. We associate this brilliant whiteness with sanitation and hygiene. The reality is a masterful optical illusion. Detergent manufacturers achieve this effect not by cleaning better, but by adding chemicals known as optical brighteners. These are dyes that absorb invisible ultraviolet light and re-emit it as visible blue light. This blue light masks the natural yellowing of aging cotton, tricking the eye into seeing a brighter white. These chemicals do not remove dirt. They merely alter light perception. The danger for older adults is that optical brighteners are designed intentionally to remain in the fabric long after the rinse cycle. If they washed out, they wouldn't work. This means your skin is in constant contact with these synthetic dyes, which research suggests can cause skin irritation and allergic reactions in sensitive individuals. Even detergents labeled free and clear sometimes only remove scents and perfumes, while leaving the optical brighteners in the formula. The invisible risk is chronic, low-level dermal exposure to chemicals that serve purely aesthetic purposes. The safer alternative is to accept the natural creamy color of cotton or use oxygen-based bleaches that actually remove stains rather than hiding them. We have stripped away the marketing facades. The question remains, what is actually safe? If you cannot trust the labels, what can you bring into your home? The safe list is surprisingly short, incredibly cheap, and highly effective. It relies on chemistry rather than marketing. It includes white vinegar, a mild acid that cuts grease and dissolves mineral deposits. It includes baking soda, a gentle abrasive and natural deodorizer. And it includes plain Castile soap, a true soap made from oils that lifts dirt without leaving synthetic residues. These items are safer because they are transparent. You know exactly what they are. They do not rely on hidden fragrance, loopholes, or complex synthetic compounds that your body struggles to process. By simplifying your environment, you reduce the toxic load on your system, allowing your body to focus its energy on maintenance rather than defense against its own home. If you want to stay informed about how to protect your health as a consumer, please subscribe to the channel. We will continue to investigate the realities behind the products we are told to trust.